man, the myth, the legend, the one who ended the entire Julio-Claudian dynasty in under a decade.
Yeah. By the way, our EOI viewers might already notice that we're recording this on the exact same day as Gilgamesh, so give us prayers, please.
Yeah, so that's why my ring light's not on, because it gave me anxiety jitters earlier, because the last recording was so long. And we have tea.
Correction, she has tea. My cup is empty.
My cup is still cold water, actually. Here. You can have tea while I'm explaining history. Put it down. I don't know if I can hit it if you're moving it.
Yeah, a tea bag.
Yep.
Nice, I can just read. Or you can hand it.
Just create a trash pile over on that plate. Yeah. We're going to enjoy some lovely tea while we discuss this. Show it on camera. Just drop the whole tea bag in, it's fine. You can fish it out when you're done. That's sad. That's real sad.
So Nero Claudius.
Yeah, so Nero Claudius. So we have, this is actually the third Julio-Claudian emperor we've talked about, technically. Because we start this dynasty with Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
And Caligula came before Nero Claudius, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Gaius Caligula.
I think we did them in order, too.
Oh, shit. Christ on a cracker, we did. We did the Julio-Claudians in order. Good Lord. I didn't even think about that when we were doing it. Christ on a fucking cracker. So, this is Nero, or we know him as Nero, but his full name is Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, which, believe me, can really trip you up when you're looking around, because there's also the Emperor Claudius, and the Emperor Gaius Caligula, and the Emperor Germanicus, and Caesar Augustus, and Julius Caesar. So, like, it's a problem, as you can see. But he reigned from 41 to 54, although he was alive from 37 to 68. December, it's fucking Wikipedia. You can see the dates right there. I don't have as specific a set of dates here because I'm actually using my old notebook for this, because I'll go more in depth on him in a second, but like we talked about him in class, and you have to remember the Julio-Claudian dynasty consists of Augustus, Tiberius, Gaius Caligula, and then Claudius, and then Nero Claudius, right? And Nero Claudius, his reign started with the quinquennium, right? Also known as the 5 good years, right? And then there was massive conflict with Christians, the Great Fire, and eventually he would flee the city and commit suicide, thus ending the Julio-Claudian dynasty, which at that point, there was the Civil War and the Year of the Four Emperors before Vespasian established the Flavian dynasty. And I believe I will be perhaps mentioning... Yeah, I'm going to be mentioning Domitian later in this video, very specifically, for a purpose that some of our viewers may have already been able to figure out based on the fact that I said Domitian. I don't know if Knick-Knack is aware why I'll be mentioning Domitian.
Nope.
But it actually has a lot to do with this video. Now,
I know a lot of this in broad strokes.
Oh, yeah. Well, Domitian's going to be interesting. So, I've got 2 books here that I use mainly. But this is the Roman Empire. And this is just one of those, like, everything kind of about Rome, like, in a nutshell. I've got a couple pages marked, so I'm going to pull some facts out of here. And then I'm going to read, and then I'm going to go over kind of a basic summary of this dude's life. And then I want to talk about this, because I picked this up just the other day at Barnes & Noble's, literally yesterday. Right, and as you can see, I actually had time to get through the parts I needed. But there's some interesting stuff in here, because this entire book is about Nero and the ending of the Julio-Claudian dynasty. Specifically, post the Great Fire in the year 64. So, like, this entire book is about, like, 4 years of this man's life, basically. And it makes some very interesting...
I'm sorry.
Points I want to bring up. But, we're going to start over here. So we'll go to my first tab. So, Nero is considered one of the evil emperors in Roman history. There's a few of these. We covered one already, Caligula. And there's also Domitian, who we are going to talk about, Commodus, Elagabalus, and yep. So those are the kind of the 5 evil emperors, contrasted to the 5 good emperors like Marcus Aurelius. But like, you know, that's how it is. So, so Nero Claudius was just 17 when he succeeded Claudius as emperor in the year 54 AD. And his initial part was he wanted to revive the Principate of Augustus, right? And I want to, so we might hear a word a couple times throughout this, but it's called princeps, right? And I don't know if you know the word princeps.
No.
Or princeps, it might be. So princeps is a title that many of the julio-claudians and later emperors would call themselves. But essentially it means like first among many. And it was a title that they like gave to themselves, and it kind of like the first among the many people of the empire, kind of, you know, I'm above all these people, I'm the person who speaks for these people, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So that's actually where we get the word principate from. It's from princeps. Okay, so initially he had guides from the philosopher Seneca, and his first 5 years, the quinquennium, was actually really, really good. He enacted a lot of really wonderful building projects, and did like a lot to kind of further Rome and bring glory to it. There were a couple murders, but they're largely unimportant.
There always is when it comes to these nobility.
They're just a couple, you know, just his stepbrother Britannicus and his mother Agrippina in 54 and 59. But generally, his first 5 years was a pretty smooth period.
Wasn't he relatively popular during those years amongst the working class?
Yeah, because he was bringing back the glory of the empire. He was conducting great building projects and doing all sorts of things, like
very
really good
not
things.
architecture, infrastructure focused.
Yeah, I think he might have built. Was it a pair of aqueducts during this time? The Aqua Claudia and the Aqua. I want to say someone around this time did like two really important. They became really important, like really important aqueducts, and I want to say that was him, but I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I know they were built around this time, but I don't actually know. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong. We'll get to that stuff in a second. So generally, this first quinquennium ran pretty well. 5 years, going strong, right? 17 to 2022. He spent a lot of his time engaged in pursuits of drama. He had a huge admiration of Greek culture, and he used to perform before private audiences, right? Mostly because Roman nobles, it wasn't considered appropriate to kind of perform in front of crowds. It was putting on a persona and doing sort of stuff. But he would later alienate the nobility of Rome by appearing on stage in 64, where he made his debut as a singer, and then later in Rome. But after the death of Burrus in the year 62, Seneca, the philosopher who was guiding him, retired from the court, knowing that kind of his influence over Nero was waning, right? And this really gave him the ability to vent himself. You know, he was a raging bisexual who fell a little bit on the sadomasochistic end of the spectrum. And he had, oh God, I hate this story. So actually, ironically enough, about a week and a half ago, we were hanging out. I sent you a TikTok video.
We weren't hanging out, but you sent it to me then.
Yeah, I sent it to you. It was like one of those AI. So there's a couple projects on TikTok that do this thing where they're like, they take the story of a real person, but then they put like an AI generated body and voice. And I understand why.
It's kind of uncanny. I think it was written AI as well.
Yeah, but basically they tell like the story of someone who had a really tragic life, right? And I can there's one TikTok channel that does it for more recent murders, and they do it so that they don't have to show video or audio of the actual person, right? And I get that, but this was of this particular story. So he had a slave boy named Sporus, and he castrated him and then mock married him in a fake wedding ceremony. And essentially he also abused married women and freeborn boys, throughout his bisexual appetites. Slaves he could just considered fair game in terms of this, and he actually fell for the wife of Otho, right? So he then divorced and executed Octavia, his wife, who was the daughter of Claudius, his predecessor, but then accidentally kicked Poppaea, the wife of Otho, to death out of anger, and then kind of pretended that Sporus was Poppaea for the rest of his life in a really twisted way. It's not a good story.
Can you take a guess that we're not going to be touching on that much, if at all?
I assumed so. Interestingly enough, the worst part about that story is the slave boy Sporus would actually survive the ending of Nero's life and then be taken on by the next emperor and violently abused as a symbol of power, and then that one would die, and then he was taken on again and killed himself rather than be abused anymore, I think. It's not a good story. Like, it's really bad. I mean, there's a reason why Nero is considered one of the evil emperors. Like, Caligula was nuts, but Nero was, like, Nero didn't suffer a fever that, may have, like, addled his brain, like we discussed about the stories of Caligula. Like, Nero was held in check by Seneca, and then once he had essentially unlimited power, really kind of showed his true colors, like, to the public. It's not good. So he discovered a plot against him in 65 that led to terrible consequences. In the Great Fire of 64, it's actually rumored, it was rumored, and it's kind of not true, but that he started the fire and then just kind of sung while Rome was burning down. Ironically, after the fire, he actually put in place really, really strict and good building codes so that the buildings rebuilt would be fireproof. Like, there were even regulations as to what types of wood you were allowed to use and how much and how they had to be treated. So that's good.
I mean, Nero, up to this point in your story, is good at governing, not at being a moral person in general.
Yeah, that's the one. However, he also built a new palace called the Domus Aureus, or the Golden House, that was incredibly lavish and vast and sprawled all over central Rome and was really just a show of how big the treasury was at the time, and people did not like that. And then, so this next bit is where I'm gonna come back to this with this book. But supposedly, he then embarked on the first recorded persecution of the Christians, blaming them for the fire, to deflect the kind of drop in popularity from himself. And so, he used to compare. He liked to emulate the glamorousness of, like, the Hellenistic monarchies, but it didn't really work in Rome at that time. And so in 66, he actually went to Greece and participated in the Olympic Games, except he fell out of his chariot, and then had himself declared the winner of every single prize, the logic being that if he had not fallen out, he would certainly have won. So he returned the next year to Rome and essentially faced revolts. I mean, some kind of didn't do well, but he dithered, and eventually the Senate declared him a public enemy, and he committed suicide, crying, "What an artist dies in me." Which, glorious. He did have, like, quite a few good governing ideas. Like, he's the one who cut the Corinth Channel and restored self-government to Greek cities during this part of the Roman Empire, though. But he didn't really understand how to work with the army, and he actually left a half-bankrupt empire in kind of in the grips of a civil war, which really didn't go anywhere good, because following him was, the Civil War era, right? And then you had the Vespasian, who was okay, and Titus, who was okay, but then Domitian within like 20 years of his death, and Domitian was not good, and we're going to get back to why later. So he did not have a particularly good, that was just not good. Not good. I do want to talk about kind of Nero and the Flavians, though. And this, I do want to touch on, like, the things he did that were, like, somewhat beneficial, right? So, he was passionate about artistic things and Greece, and he wanted Roman architecture to be great. And in a lot of ways, he did herald kind of a golden age of Rome. I mean, he might have, burned half the city down, but he funded a lot of great building projects. He actually put in place good...
If he wasn't so cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, he might have actually been like a well-remembered leader.
Yeah, this golden age that he heralded would last until about 138 with the death of Hadrian, meaning that he heralded a golden age that lasted almost a century. It's 70 years or so. But that's pretty decent. I mean, he established... lavish imperial projects and did a ton of concrete building. He built new public baths as well as complexes around them that included gymnasia, gardens, libraries, restaurants, art galleries, swimming pools. They were actually praised by poets of the era. They ended up being rebuilt in the 3rd century as well to kind of keep them good, as well as adding markets and bridges across the Tiber. But he linked his palace on Palatine Hill to the gardens of the Mecenas, which belonged to the other emperors on the Esquiline Hill, right? And then built the Domus Transitoria, the palace that basically walked between the gardens and the palace, which lavish as hell and really unnecessary. I mean, look at how bullshit this shit is sorry, I'm showing him a picture. And it's, it's not a great use of the empire's money, So the interesting thing is his golden palace was kind of built on a section that had burned down in the Great Fire, and I think that's a lot of the reason why people used to attribute him with starting the Great Fire.
Maybe you should have built up similar infrastructure to what was burnt down instead of building a palace.
I think a lot of people made the assumption that maybe he started the fire so he could build his palace in the place where it was.
I mean, even if we don't attribute that much, which kind of hard not to when you have that much going. Yeah.
But
fucked up in his in what he did. Building a lavish palace on top of the burnt ashes of those were just living areas, right?
Yeah. But
maybe not a good idea.
But his new building regulations post the fire included wider straight streets instead of narrow lanes, porticos to provide firefighting platforms, fire-resistant building materials, a height limit for apartment blocks, but they didn't really help with his popularity, even though it did, make Rome altogether safer? Probably better to live in and safer.
It's narrow. 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah, I actually have a section on his Golden Palace in this book, but it is absolutely fucking ridiculous. It covered 300 acres, right? And it ended up essentially it kind of got parts of it got annexed into other buildings under later emperors who were just like, yeah, this can just be annexed into like that and this other thing. There's also a huge section of like subterranean chambers. All sorts of different styles.
The thing is, Nero just got in there and built his dream Minecraft house.
Yeah, I mean, so here's a diagram of how big the palace was. Like, it's...
fucking big.
It's massive. It's beautiful, but it's massive. And it wasn't really necessary. It was also part of a walled-in urban park, approximately the same size as Hyde Park in London, which is big. And you would kind of walk to it along the Via Sacra. It was beautiful, but not useful. I mean, it was just it was a waste of money.
Yeah.
It was a waste of money. So he enacted good building reforms and began a golden age of Roman architecture, but that was also heralded by the burning down of part of the city, the wasting of half the treasury, and his rabid and horrific sexual appetites. Once Seneca was no longer influencing and controlling him into stopping in participation of those horrible appetites, at least to the public knowledge, right? Like, I'm sure he was still participating in some of that stuff, even when Seneca was more influential, but he was hiding it better, right? Because you don't just go nutso, you know? You don't. He was only 30 when he committed suicide, which is a little bit weird, but you know. I will say there is a he did do a thing where he was married to a freedman named Pythagoras at one point, except he was the bride. Yeah, Nero. Yeah, which pretty interesting. But basically, he's known for debaucheries, extravagance, sorts of stuff like that. His mother was the great granddaughter of Augustus, but he employed Locusta to poison her. Locusta was a well-known poison mistress, essentially. She was active during both Claudius and Nero Claudius's rules. Yeah. And took parts in the assassination, supposedly, of Claudius and Britannicus, and was eventually executed by Nero's successor. Yeah, apparently she served under Agrippina, but there's she was ordered by Agrippina to supply the poison for her husband Claudius, right, who died, and then obviously Nero took over, and then that's wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
It's only surrounding yourself with the greatest of people.
Yeah, poison mistress. She's actually mentioned in like a lot of other works. Juvenal talks about her in the satires. The Count of Monte Cristo, the poisoner Madame de Villefort is actually compared to her, and one chapter is actually titled Locusta. She's also in a couple other like TV shows and shit like that, so she's fairly well known. I mean, it was pretty well known that she was a poison mistress working under these people. I think, and of course, the other thing Nero is famous for is his myriad of unsuccessful attempts until the final success one to kill his mother. Like, he tried to assassinate his mother like 4 or 5 times before it succeeded. Like, he tried to drown her, he tried to like have her executed. Like, I think poison finally worked, but like there were many attempts.
A real Joffrey
to kill his mother. Yeah, like he wanted her dead, and it took a while. Interestingly, that's just weird, you know. Yeah, he fancied himself all sorts of like, I'm a poet and a singer and a lyricist and a charioteer, and honestly, kind of all of this, like him being him was just offensive to the Roman nobility. Like, just his being him was offensive to Roman nobility,
Isn't there some question, not on all the accusations, but on some of the things he's attributed to having done that might have been nobility spread rumor?
Yeah, we're gonna touch on that in a second. I just want to see if there's anything else I want to mention. I mean, that's the main part of it. He tried to. Yeah, he didn't do great with the military, which on the whole was not a good thing. Actually, Queen Boudica's revolt was during his reign. And so was an insurrection in Judea from 66 to 70. And the story of Boudica is horrible as well. I mean, captured her daughters, raped them in front of her, and then killed them before they killed her.
I don't think that was Nero himself.
No,
like his generals, which you know how generals are when you have an empire that big. They fuck off and do their own thing.
Exactly. And it's not as if he would have been saying no, let's be honest.
No,
here.
He would not have.
No.
But,
no. Yeah. He put to death like 18 out of the 41 participants in that conspiracy against him. He just wasn't. He's not good.
No.
One person said, right? Someone who rebelled against him said, "I saw him on stage once playing pregnant women and slaves about to be executed." So not like they hated him. They fucking hated him. Ironically, his palace guard supported him at first until the end. And then, he stabbed himself in the throat with a dagger, according to Suetonius. According to Tacitus, he died later. But yeah, sparked civil war. Fuck this man. So I do want to touch on some stuff mentioned in this book, right? Which is that, so there are several historical accounts of the Great Fire, and well, obviously there's several historical accounts of this time period, right? You have Tacitus's The Annals, you have Suetonius, you have I need to pop down here to references. So I want to say you've got Tacitus, Josephus, and so Josephus was a Jewish historian. Cassius, Plutarch, Suetonius, Philostratus. So there are a ton of contemporary sources, or somewhat contemporaneous, right? And here's the thing. Some of these people had agendas, right? So there are some historians who blame him for starting the Great Fire of Rome. Like, they say that it's his fault and he started it, and then he blamed the Christians because he wanted them gone. But did he? Right? Did he really? He's not the only emperor who persecuted Christians. In fact, I'm gonna mention Domitian again in a second, because Domitian has some interesting things to contribute to a later part of this video, right? And so there's, the Annals claim that Nero fabricated scapegoats, right, amongst a group that was already, disliked, right? But at the same time, the Christians were then subjugated to, horrible, horrible things. And as a result, a lot of scholars record that the Roman peoples didn't truly believe that the Christians were to blame, right? Because they suffered through all these punishments and tortures, and it was terrible, right? And then, the Annals mainly blames him for just about everything, right? But it's interesting because we don't actually have,
because there is a bend here where he was, even early on, very unpopular amongst the nobility.
Yeah.
And he was popular amongst the common people, so...
And the people recording history are
nobility.
often the people who are wealthy enough and well-positioned in life that they do not have to work, and they can just record history.
So how much of this actually happened, and how much of it was Twitter accusations?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. He's not the only emperor who was terrible to prince, right? So you had me look up 2 other people besides Locusta and Nero Claudius for this video, right?
Yeah.
You can't see them on screen right now. We're going to get to them. They're the Beast of Revelations and the Whore of Babylon. The reason I keep bringing up Domitian. Domitian is the emperor who reigned when Book of Revelations was written. Domitian's name, right, in mathematical equivalency in Roman is said to equal to 666, according to Christian mathematical equations. And Domitian undertook one of the most brutal attacks on Christianity in all of Roman history. That's why I wanted to mention Domitian. Says I knew you didn't know that he's the one who was reigning when Revelations was written.
It's interesting you brought that up, because I'm going to have a little side thing to bring up later that might tie into that and might be a piece, a certain puzzle here.
Yeah, so that's definitely an interesting thing to bring up, because, you had me look up the Beast of Revelation, but at the same time, a lot of scholars would say that, this is one of the greatest persecutions that Christianity ever faced in Roman history, but why then is Domitian regarded as one of the worst? Is the Book of Revelations talking about Domitian? Is it talking about Nero? Is it talking about something else? I'm curious. I'm not a big Bible person. I have only read cursorily the Bible maybe once.
But the crossover here is...
There's some shit going on. And I remember because we talked about Domitian during the class where I've got the notes that I had that on, and notably in Domitian, right? So Domitian did a few things, right? But his reign was characterized by the execution and exile of most senatorial families. He also called himself Dominus et Deus, right? Which basically just meant Lord God, right? And he was the persecutor and emperor of the Christians under which Book of Revelations was written. And the thing is, the 2 things you had me look up, the Beast of Revelations and the Whore of Babylon, Most modern scholars believe that both of those people are representations of attitudes and opinions, not actual beings and creatures. And I don't know if you want me to start that now or wait.
Let's get into it later, because now we're getting into the nature of what those...
Yeah.
And that might be a little bit better to save.
So, I would like to say, before we move on to Nero, I know Nero's a woman.
Yes.
And I know that Nero is either Red Saber or Saber of Red.
Red Saber. But also, can you identify the spot that gave them the justification to make Nero a woman?
Is it where he got married to Pythagoras as the bride?
Yes.
Yeah. You're happy I mentioned that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, meet Red Saber Nero.
Okay. See, here's the thing. I've seen, like, Red Saber in stuff before, but, like, I never got a... And I knew that there was a Red Saber and a Saber of Red, and I don't think I've ever seen Saber of Red.
Not yet in a video. Kinda, not really. So, yeah.
Big sword. Ooh. Aw, lions. Lion. Yeah.
She has a lot of alternate costumes, by the way.
There's a figure of her in this costume at the Hi Hi Mochi at our local mall that was half off last time I was there. And I didn't buy it because I was like, no.
Nope.
Not going there. Look, she won the Olympic Games.
This is an idol outfit.
Oh, that's a...
Revealing?
Yeah. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, no, that wasn't the idol outfit. That was just another... She has a lot of outfits.
Yeah. You've also... Hold on. Move. Let me see. Okay. Oh, I love that. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, she just looks like Red Saber.
I mean, that was kind of the point, was to...
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a fake out. You're supposed to go into the game thinking, hey,
we're getting...
Saber.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's Red Saber, so...
Being fair, part of the inspiration for King Arthur might have been Roman.
That's true, yeah.
So, you know, bloodline there, maybe? No, probably not.
No, because he ended the julio-claudians, remember?
True.
And if we're going by when the Roman general would have theoretically been in, it would have been sometime during the reign of Hadrian, which would have been in either the Flavian dynasty or the one after it.
Look, I just choose to believe that all the Romans looked like Saber.
Which is really funny, because I just had to watch a lecture, right? I did extra credit for one of my classes because I needed a couple extra points. And I watched a lecture by Dr. Mary Beard, who's one of the foremost scholars in Roman history, right? And she was doing a lecture on identifying emperors in Roman portraiture, right? Because we have almost no examples where we have a sculpture of a Roman emperor with a contemporary like name that can be dated to when the sculpture was created, and that can be dated to the reign of a particular emperor. So we often have to look at descriptions like Suetonius or whatever describes Julius Caesar as being like having a lot of neck rolls and being partially bald. And so people look at statues and they're like, do you think this is enough neck rolls and baldness to be Caesar? It's Caesar. But then 30 years later, something else comes out and they're like, oh no, this is a different emperor. But at the same time, in a way, a lot of the portraiture of emperors over the years is deliberately made to look alike because they don't necessarily want you to be able to tell every single emperor apart, but they want you to be able to look at the sculpture and say, that's an emperor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the identification and the misidentification of the sculpture of Roman emperors, like the misidentification is almost as important as the actual identification of the emperors, right? And so it's Jesus Christ.
That was spicy.
Ooh, I like that. I mean, it's a lot of boob, but I like it.
I'm just scrolling through some of the extra artworks here because she's not limited to Fate.
Yeah.
Grand Order.
Yeah. Okay. Plaid.
Ah, Agrippina.
Oh. On stage.
Oh shit, I'll have us look that up when we're in the cacophony.
Alright,
of...
I'm gonna close out of this.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're at the point. Alright, I'm gonna scroll a little.
So, with Nero here, just a few things to touch on. Mm-hmm. So Fate doesn't ever explicitly confirm which of the accusations are real and which ones are not, but it seems to tend towards a lot of these were rumor and false accusation. One thing that Fate does confirm, though, is that Nero does carry herself boisterously like a theater kid and has absolutely zero shame in anything, as you've seen with her outfits. Mm-hmm. Some variations on her normal design have her with an open crotch window.
Interesting. Yeah, okay.
So, let's see here. Nero and Fate isn't exactly sane.
Christ on a fucking cracker.
Yeah, she's kind of she is the Artoria for the Fate Extra sub-series, so.
Yeah. I mean, oh god. There's so many images here. There's so many images.
Christ on a cracker.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Because I can't tell which one of these are going to be CEs, and I kind of want to open some of them to look at, but I don't want to open it if it's a CE.
A lot of these are not CEs. This is because first Fate video, proper video game, Nero was the main mascot character. So
yeah. Oh wow. There's not. Oh.
We'll get back to this.
Well, yeah, I figured. I'm just trying to, Okay, I'm gonna give up on looking through all of these. There's just too many.
There's gonna be even more CEs to go through later.
Yeah.
So go down to her relationships.
I am. Oh, there's a lot of them. Okay.
Yeah. This Nero, you could probably tell, plays up a lot that love of Roman culture.
Greek.
Greco-Roman.
Yeah, Greco.
Roman. Yeah, Hellenistic.
All right, Caligula. Okay. My uncle, so young, and more than a bit violent. I've seen him defeat enemies with just his fist. I wish I had an outfit with a red cape like his. Fair. Okay, Altera. The White Warrior Princess. Altera, right? For some reason her name conjures up a bigger, badder last boss kind of image. Whatever may come, it's a good thing she looks happy.
I absolutely love that her relationship with Altera is basically, why do I hear boss music?
Tamama no Mai. That caster in a kimono. Casco. I go way back with her. Still, while I may not hate her, that doesn't mean we're not rivals. Tamama no Mai swimsuit. How shameless, being in a wet t-shirt. But that's my rival we're talking about here. I cannot help but admire her willingness to do whatever it takes to win. But will my theater card let her off so easy, I wonder? Okay. Elizabeth Bathory. Insolent Red Lancer. Disappearing for a time only to come back stronger. I'll be damned if I'm going down without a fight. Master, make me a vocal training room. Idle.
Idle, yeah.
Bathory. Brave. Okay. I never thought Elizabeth would be in a swimsuit too. Umo. She has made the best of that eel-like body of hers to be in that skimpy swimsuit for the kill. I like it. But she still needs to do a proper fitting. Though I just don't understand those shoulder pads. They're like plumage worn by those dancers at the Carnival in Rio. I don't understand.
By the way, just while you read it there, Umu is something that they just throw into her speech all the time in Fate. Oh. So if you see that come up again,
okay.
Or if someone calls her Umu, that's why.
Alright, Artoria Pendragon Altar. Even the Heartless Maid is here. Master, you must get rid of her immediately. What do you think she did when I ordered her to bring me a glass of cold coconut milk? She destroyed the coconut right in front of my face. Valid. And other Artorias. Master, I just saw a servant at the beach wearing a green cape with a crown, with an unexplainable yet sunny smile on her face, shooting off hydro lasers. Do you know of her? I did not greet her since I only saw her from afar, but she seems a good servant. Her face even resembles mine. If she's that much of a beauty, I would love to have her serve me as one of my subordinates. I already know that servant? That's a funny joke, Master. Jesus. Oh, there is very little hidden there.
Yeah.
Because there are ass cheeks. And a V. Christ on a...
Remember, Fate Extra CCC was very sexualized.
Oh,
Fate Extra was not that much less sexualized.
Yep, you're right. I'm looking at these when they pop up because I figure... So these are just like...
Promotional artwork?
Yeah, okay.
Fun.
Let's see.
Oh, so yeah, scroll back up. You maybe... Did you move too far?
The 5th floor.
Oh, no?
This is still about...
Jesus.
I haven't made it down to skills yet. Fate Extella. Okay. All right. I get it. Oh, cute. Oh. Learning with manga. Ooh, Guda
That's
Guda.
Guda's.
Guda
That's
Guda.
yeah.
Yeah, and there's that cape I liked. Oh, there's a bunch of art for it with the crown and everything. Oh, okay. All right. Abilities. That only took like 2 minutes. Christ.
So Nero wields a handcrafted artistic sword carved from a meteor.
Yeah, the Astus Estus, the original flame.
As far as physical combat goes, Nero is not even close to the strongest of servants, but she can hold her own.
She's a saber, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Red saber.
I almost said, did you tell me what her class was? And then I remembered that she's Red Saber, and I was like, is that her class? Because I'm a fucking moron.
She's not weak. She claims to have been able to snap a lion's neck, but Fate does specifically note that she did not snap a lion's neck. She just suffocated the lion until it passed out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see her class skills.
Yeah,
so.
those are what make Nero very scary. Specifically, if you look down there, Imperial Privilege.
Well, I haven't... So, she's got magic resistance and writing, which is not always for a saber. You don't always get writing.
They usually do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Huh. I feel like I have
It's
a
usually a
saber
lower
that
rank
doesn't
than
have
that,
one.
though.
Oh, okay. It's because she's a charioteer.
Yeah.
Like that, 'cause she's a charioteer. Fucking hell. Let's see. So, migraine. Okay.
So, I guess this is probably a good time to note Nero and Agrippina's relationship.
Not good.
Not good.
No. There's a reason why she wanted to kill her mother, and it's because her mother routinely poisoned her growing up.
Yeah, and
Him. Fuck.
well,
Fuck
in Fate, Nero was poisoned by her mother with a poison that would not kill Nero, but cause basically crippling migraines.
Yeah.
So long as Nero didn't take an antidote, until Nero had Agrippina killed.
Yep.
So now Nero just suffers through the migraines, which is supposed to explain some of Nero's more erratic behavior.
Okay, but that doesn't explain...
Remember, it also says a lot of the accusations were rumored.
Yeah.
With Fate. So.
Yeah. No, I get that.
So, like, some of them were like, okay, what the fuck was this about?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I see the Imperial Privilege, right? And that's...
It allows her to basically copy most skills, including divinity.
Okay. Invictus Spiritus, thrice even though I welcome the setting sun. Okay. Oh, yeah. The discovery of the body and that sort of thing. Okay. It's a very, very Jesus moment. Open her eyes for a brief moment even though she's been dead for 3 days. A little Jesus-y.
I don't know, the Christians would say the Antichrist.
True. Very true. Noble Phantasm. Astus Domus Aria.
Yep. So we're going to see this one a lot today, buckle up.
Oh, it's a reality marble. Yep.
Similar
The Golden
to one.
Palace.
It's not quite a reality marble.
Oh.
Instead, like reality marble, you're dragging someone into your reality.
Mm-hmm.
She's dragging her reality out to you.
Kind of like Anastasia.
Kinda. I don't remember if Anastasia works the same way or not, though. So, basically, it just opens up the Domus Aurea around them.
Yep.
And things that are in here are in her control as her artistic domain.
Okay.
Enemies are weakened, allies are strengthened, and she can manipulate the palace at will.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
We're not going to immediately jump into her NP animation, though. I did the due diligence of opening them up in separate tabs, so you don't have to keep scrolling to find them. But she has a bunch of alternate forms we have here.
Okay, so this is mythological mystical code of Emperor.
Yeah, so this is just a powered up version of Saber Nero that's only possible through the Moon Cell.
Oh yeah, I like this outfit. It was fun.
You can go ahead and move on to the next one. It's not too much to go over here. The Moon Crux. This is Nero's form while taking advantage of...
I like the art. This looks cool.
Mm-hmm. She gets a little bit of a punchy thing going on here, too.
Yeah. Also, she's significantly more covered up.
Yeah.
Than the last one.
But here she gets... This is only possible when basically her master is the... not undisputed, but is a ruler of the Moon Cell. Mm-hmm. Like, just controls it.
I like that it's like, this is Roman Gladiator.
I wouldn't necessarily call it that. I know.
I mean, it's the helmet and the pauldrons.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So we can go ahead and move on to the last one. This last one's a little bit more important. This is Saber Venus. This is a form Nero gets when granted power by the Olympian gods in order to protect the moon cell.
I'm gonna be honest. This looks a little bit like someone took Penthesilea and one of the Valkyries.
I think this predates them both.
Well, it looks a little bit like someone combined the two of them. You know. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean.
So here's the funny thing. She's not using her normal sword here. She's using Altera's fucking sword.
Jesus.
And she has a different noble phantasm, the Certus Domus Aurea.
Oh.
This noble phantasm is used by combining the Domus Aurea and just within the Domus Aurea using Altera's sword.
Okay.
It is considered anti-planet.
All right.
So.
Do you want me to close these?
Yeah, you can close all those.
And my first NP?
Yep. This is the original Fate X Brigade.
Okay. Oh, look, a theater.
And that's kind of it. It's just now the fight's in the theater.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. It just keeps going. All right.
So I'm not showing you the CCC one yet because that one I'm going to include with a later form.
Okay.
So here's the FGO version.
All right. Raise the curtains for the soloist. Oh, look, she's in a Roman arena. Fighting automata.
You're familiar with those now?
Bowling pins. That's what they are. They're bowling pins. Nero, just get a chariot and ride over them.
Not a rider, unfortunately.
Has riding skill, though.
Yeah.
Just go borrow it. Nice.
Going X into the next one. Extella.
Okay. Do I need to mute this?
No, not this
Okay.
one.
Oh, that's Extella Link, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We just create a fucking theater around us. Yeah. Be honest, the inside of the theater looks a little bit like the Pantheon.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Alright. The next one might be Extella Link. Yeah, this one we have to mute.
Okay. Alright, so Extella Link, let's see. Okay, yeah. Oh. Oh, she's so cute. I mean, would not smash, but like, I don't know. Same as Saber Artoria, to be honest, to me.
I will have you hold that thought for later.
Oh boy. Why? Oh god. I'm worried. I'm very worried. At the moment. This version.
This version is very reminiscent of Saber Artoria.
And you know, I'm not...
Yeah.
I'm not all there on Saber Artoria, you know? It's not my... It does really look like the Pantheon from some angles. To be honest. The Imperial Maiden, St. Claudius. Okay.
So this is what I was saying what the fuck about as I was prepping.
Oh boy. Oh!
Apparently these things are animated. I didn't think that these were actual costumes.
Oh! That's fucking hilarious. Look at her little chibi self. Is it Flowery Imperium of the Median? Laus St. Claudius. Christ. Certainly a much more... Not the same type of surprise as,
No.
yeah.
We're not ever replicating that, you know. You're never going to be that surprised again.
Yeah, now I'm going to see that game and be like, ah, yes.
You're not forgetting that game anymore.
Servant Saber, Nero Claudius. 呼び声に応じ推算した。よくぞ世を選んだ。 気概のわかる魔術師よな。華麗に決める。
I'll be honest, at least in this version, I see she's fighting her. At least in this version of her, like this outfit, I think I find her very underwhelming and kind of uninspiring because she's meant to be a dupe of Saber Artoria. Because to me that just seems like lazy, like you could have done something really cool with her design, but you didn't. You chose to just kind of remake Saber Artoria, but in a different color. You know what I mean?
Well, we have plenty of alternate variations here that might suit your fancy more.
I can see that.
So this is the Saber Venus NP.
Okay.
You don't have to read the words.
All right.
Just
即時解析完了。完全防御用のシールドを多次元展開。奥の手であろうと最適防御で防ぐおごりごと。
粉砕されるのは貴様だ学士。変わらぬものがありなが
Really
ら
not covering a
変
lot.
わり続けるものを
No.
愛というのだ。
Oh, I didn't even realize those were pasties. They're not coming from like
No.
behind. They're just. Okay.
I did say earlier she has no shame.
宇宙深淵に朽ち果てよ。14000年における星の勝利が希望と願いの果てならば。
Really likes to hear herself talk.
I mean, that's within character.
I know. I know. Just making a joke. Man, she's not covering much. I feel like it's almost disappointing that she's not covering much because like the arm and like leg armor looks really fucking cool, but then you got like nothing in the middle of the body. Like
It's
imagine,
like, it does take you out of the moment a bit.
yeah, because they could have done such a cool full body suit. Okay. Scream it out loud.
I gotta say, the NP is a little underwhelming for me. But that might just be because it was on the PS fucking P.
Yeah.
まさに
I'm gonna be honest, most of it is white screen.
Yeah.
And this, her screaming.
Yeah.
So.
This might be a little bit more, oh, you don't have to watch the rest.
Oh, okay.
That's just the end of the cutscene.
Oh, yeah.
This might be a little bit more whelming for you. This is a trailer for the remake game. Nero has things peppered throughout, so... And it doesn't name any servants out
It's
there.
only a minute 48. Alright, so
た
there's
だ一
Nero.
人の勝者にのみ与えられる。
Unreal Engine.
それでも戦いたいと望むなら来るがいい。月の戦場へ。
ようやく目覚めたか。まったく虚弱にも程がある。穏やかに流れる時間、変わらない日常。いわばかりそめの平和。
I saw a bitch star.
行くぞ。
I know
そう
it's
しよ
written, but
う。麗しき花のごとく舞い踊るとしよう。
If you're wondering about this game, the
聖杯
three
戦争
playable
の勝
characters
者
are
は
Nero, Emiya,
願い
and
を一
Tomo.
つ叶えることができる。
That's why if you see them in art together.
教えてやろう。
okay.
無垢なるウィザードたちに聖杯戦争の本質を払うべき代償を。
Cool! And I think Robin
敗者
Hood.
は
But
破
I
れ
could
る
be
べ
wrong.
くして
I
破
haven't
れる
met Robin Hood yet officially.
ここに入った時点で
But it
お
looked
前
like
ら
it.
全員死んでいるようなもんだ生きて帰れるのは
Oh, I think I know who that pink haired girl was. Oh, my crew looking so good. My crew looking so good. Holy shit. I know who that is now.
しかして
Sorry.
たたえよ。黄金の劇場を。
I will ignore it. I will pretend I do not know that that is in fact the privateer that I own. Goddamn, my crew looking so good though.
That's part of what made me like, we should maybe just watch this entire thing because Ku is in it.
My coup was looking so good. I barely saw him. He looked glorious. Oh yeah, there's one with Emiya in it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah, you can go and exit out of there.
Cool.
So this is another alternate variation, Nero Bride. I don't have a lot different here with Nero Bride. You're welcome to look over the skills because they're named differently and there's some different effects to them.
Yeah.
But Nero Bride's entire different thing is mostly shipping related. Continuity bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry,
Otherwise,
scroll down to swimsuit on accident.
Largely the same character.
But yeah. This is the one that Vorn wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just look at them here real quick. Oh, okay.
I'm sure this entire thing is still a reference to, definitely a reference to Nero.
Nero Bride, yeah.
Yeah.
I would make the assumption, yes.
Nero still has the Domus Aurea, but now it's the Nuptiae Domus Aurea. It's the Domus Aurea.
So it's pronounced nuptiae.
Yeah,
and
thank
it's
you.
in reference to the word nuptials.
Yep.
Or nuptials, which means marriage.
It's just the Domus Aurea,
Yeah.
like all
as a wedding.
decorated for weddings.
Wedding venue, yeah.
She also has another NP here called the Fax Celestis. You can pronounce that, I'm sure.
Celestis.
Thank you. This is an attack she'll perform both in and out of the Domus Aurea that engulfs her sword in flames. The wound that this sword inflicts will then erupt in flames. The wound itself will.
Yeah.
All right. So we have NPs here. We also have the FGO artwork here too. So.
Oh, I looked through them all.
Okay.
Except for the April Fools. Cute. Kinky.
Then I have some NPs here.
Okay.
This is extra CCC.
Can I close this? Okay. Can I close the original?
Yeah.
All right. Just trying to keep track. Is that Arthur?
No. At least I thought this video was on for angry. Oh, I think that's it. Is it? No.
Oh,
There it is.
it's way over here.
So it doesn't actually show the dress, because this is technically just still regular Nero.
Yeah.
But Nero's wearing her bride outfit, so I didn't want to throw that out there first.
Yeah.
Alright, we can move on.
Oh,
That's enough low-res PSP gameplay. Not PSP, not
there
PSP.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, God. Yeah, that was painful.
That was some low-res PS2?
Yeah.
Or no, was that still PSP? XL was the V.
Oh, totally different PC. These
I don't think it's a different PC, just been a long time.
Okay. She sounds a lot more hello and less oh. University. A little too loud. Maybe it's just me being done with recording for today, but they're a little too loud. They're like grating on my ears. You know? I wonder if this is a reference to her poetry, the shit she recites.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, in Extella, her entire campaign is called the Flame Poem.
Oh, yeah. That'd be why. And the flame shit is definitely a reference to the Great Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Alright, arcade.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, after this we get into something just a little bit different.
Too hot. Fuck. The outside of my cup is deceptively cool.
You're right.
It is burning in there. It is like your temperature in there.
装いも新たに再登場だ。嫁セイド、あるいはネロブライドと呼ぶがよい。派手に行くぞ。世の見せ場だな。春の日差し。
I should also note, remember how I said Fate Extra CCC did have some gay stuff? As the female player character, you can still romance Nero.
Oh.
So Nero is still canonically bisexual.
Okay.
その愛は
Good.
ホムラの
It's nice to know that they keep some things the same. Like bisexual icons. I don't know if that's the representation I want,
No.
but I guess it's the representation I have to take. I prefer to think of Gilgamesh as bisexual, but okay. Alright. Swimsuit Nero! Sorry, I just clicked into that without even...
No, perfectly fine. It's Nero in a swimsuit. She did this to participate in Ishtar's race.
Oh! Actually, I don't mind this outfit. It's not the worst. I don't love that. That's cute. I think I like that outfit the best. Yeah.
So here's something that's gonna fuck with your head a bit because you'd see them both together. This summer, Nero participated in Ishtar's race alongside Altria Alter in her summer form, meaning that you just have the two Altria faces sitting right next to each other in a car.
I hate that. I hate that so much. Is she a different class?
She's a caster now, which actually, fun fact about this, Nero herself notes that might be her best class in general. That might be her proper class, not Saber.
Oh, okay. Alright. So, class skills, territory creation, knight of construction, riding, okay. Rampaging privilege, modified from imperial privilege, okay. Dreams for the summer, beach flower Nero edition, alright.
7 crowns.
Yeah. Interesting. Her state becomes ambitious, alright. And then Undying Magnus.
Is your brain working right?
Undying Magus. That's Magus, not Magnus. I think I read it and I saw a Magus and I thought like Magnus Opum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just my brain. So Noble Phantasm is Lauda Lentum Domus Illustrious.
So I'll get to that in 2 seconds, but for the 7 crowns, just go ahead and note that for later.
Okay. To do with her Noble Phantasm, I'm gonna flex what I spent 4 years learning. But Lauda means celebration, laudatory. Domus is basically home or dominion. Illustrious is where we get illustrious, right? So this has something to do with like a beautiful grand home that's being celebrated, or a beautiful grand power being celebrated.
That sounds in line for Nero.
Lentum, I don't got a root for that. I don't have an English cognate under that root in my brain, but I do have English cognates for the other 3 words. So I get the gist of this.
So as far as this NP is concerned, Nero may or may not have converted the Domus Aurea into an outdoor stage that has organs and cannons. You know, cannons, the most practical of all instruments.
Boom, 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 boom. Just move aside, trombones. Why do we have to move aside? For the cannons. The what now? The what now, sir? I'm sorry. I love that.
You can't just use cannons as an instrument.
What's his name?
I forget his name.
Is it Tchaikovsky?
I'm thinking the Pro ZD Tchaikovsky skit.
Yeah. Hold my beer, Tchaikovsky.
Yes, I can, and I'm going to use how many of them?
Yeah. I love that. Do you need me to click into that?
You can if you want to see it for flavor text.
Okay. Let's take a look. Invitation to the Golden Debauchery Theater.
So this is just for the Domus Aurea in general.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Hey, look! Grand Villa built upon the ruins of the homes that once covered the famed Esquiline Hill.
So fun fact about the campaign. You guys didn't see this, because the way I designed the campaign, you could have gone left or right, whichever way you felt like, and done it in whichever order.
Oh, in the Rome?
Yeah.
Oh,
so if you guys had gone and done the reverse order where you went to Altera's, where Altera was second, Altera would have charged down the capital of Rome, and it would have burned down the Palatine Hill, and Nero would have risen the Domus Aurea there using the Grail.
Oh, okay, here we go. Golden Theater praised in song. Okay, that makes sense. Oh.
Yeah, that's a CE we'll see later.
Yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense. Okay, because this one has a...
Yeah, let's not go too far down.
I think I just had a stroke. Christ on a fucking... Wait, was there something?
There was something there. We are not going to address that yet.
I'm going to be honest. I did not even register that there was something till it moved.
So let's go ahead and move on to the NP here.
Can I close this?
Yeah.
My brain. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I'm getting more energetic as this episode goes along. That's pretty cool. I mean...
This your favorite Nero so far?
So far, yeah. But maybe in her second outfit best. You know? I'm not a big bikini person on Nero. I do like the shoulder cannon things. They're fun. It's a little weird for a caster to have a sword.
Don't tell Nero what to do.
Christ. Oh, it's like a giant organ. Oh, Christ. That's a very big organ.
By the way, you don't get this here, but in the in-game NP, she's playing her theme song while that plays, and that's it's done as an organ cover.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We can go ahead and move on to Locusta.
Okay. I just don't want to step ahead and kind of bump you out of whatever you're explaining. You know.
So yes, this is the poisoner favored by Nero and by my chat apparently.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of like the psychedelically. You know, I've said this once before recently, but remember Howl's bedroom in Howl's Moving Castle?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of it.
This servant was added onto our schedule
Oy.
after we had already planned to do Nero.
Oh, I feel like I'm high. There's so much color. She kind of looks like a hallucinogenic mushroom. Is that on purpose?
Yes. So her entire thing is mushrooms.
Okay.
She, if she looks like you're supposed to be high, mushrooms, shrooms.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I had to do a project on shrooms in high school, and I remember I watched this video that, like, you're supposed to watch this video for, like, 5 minutes or whatever, and then you, like, look around the room, and the room's supposed to look like you're on shrooms, and I'm like, this feels vaguely reminiscent of that.
So, a lot of people joke that she is the self-insert of the author of the original Fate, because the original Fate author goes by the name Kinoko Nasu.
Yeah. I don't know what that's supposed to...
In Japanese, Kinoko, I believe. Yes, Kinoko. Just translates to mushroom. So his mascot is this little tiny mushroom. So when she shows up here as a walking mushroom head...
I'm gonna be honest, right? And I'm gonna be entirely honest. I love this. Like, this is great. I don't even care that that's... I mean, I care a little bit that that's, like, a prepubescent girl in, like, a bikini. But, like, the colors... I'm vibing. I'm digging it way more than Nero. Like, this is way better than Nero. But she's so new, she doesn't even have an April Fool's.
Yeah, no, she's literally, I think, in FGO proper, the third newest servant.
Okay. That's why she got added.
Actually, no, she's the second newest servant, because I think the other servant that she was on a banner with got announced and revealed before she did.
Oh. Well, anyways, I like this.
So, a few things to note here with her.
Okay.
Besides the fact that she's becoming the mascot of my streams, apparently.
Yeah, people do like you to fuck with Locusta.
Yeah. So, this is a bit of a plot twist for the chapter Lilim Harlot.
Okay.
But Locusta absolutely adores Nero. The thing is, if I understood the translations and interpretations correctly, she's also the one that made the poison used by Agrippina to poison Nero. That gave her the migraines.
Yep.
Because she was under the employment of Agrippina, that would line up.
Yep. Before Nero took her under his employment when Agrippina died.
Yeah. She would later be the one to give... She would later go on, besides being the one to help Nero poison others as well, would later go on to give Nero a pill that Nero could use to take her own life. Mm-hmm. But Nero never ended up taking that pill.
No. She did it a much more bloody way.
By sword.
Yep. Or dagger.
Or dagger.
Interesting. Anything else on?
After that, I have her abilities here, but
Okay.
we can go ahead and
All right.
hold off on that. for a minute.
Nero Claudius. A golden theater. She's using too much budget on public facilities, isn't she? My apologies. I got impossibly excited. By the way, it's not golden, but I have a garden decorated with emeralds. Lots of birds, colorful plants, beautiful waterways. It's a special place where only a king and his consort would enter. Yes. Okay, Sodom's beast. Lady, Nero, I'm an assassin for your sake. Caligula. Emperor Caligula. He's Lady Agrippina's older brother, right? I dislike him just a bit, but I love him. I love him, but I dislike him. No. Those shrooms are for Lady Nero. Hassan of Serenity. That girl is a poisoner. Her entire body is poison? Wonderful. I want to be her friend. Semiramis. Queen Semiramis, the legendary poisoner. Ooh, ha ha ha, so bright. Being her fan is the reason why I move and live. Her nobility is so intense. This character feels like a fangirl, you know what I mean?
A mushroom, or not a shroom, a poison otaku.
Yeah. Arash. Lord Arash. Poison doesn't work, I see, so that's how it is. No way, I'm receding. Minamoto no Raiko. Lady Raiko, come here. This is poison. Don't refrain yourself here. No. I know. Of course I know. You're on the side that serves the poison. Am I right? Yes, Locusta knows that. So much poison. Marie Antoinette. Guillotine your neck like that? I see. So brutal. Well, what's with that? So scary. Lady Marie, you're too pitiful. Do you want to drink some poison? Good fucking God. Charles Henri Sanson. You're that guy. Of the guillotine? You're not human.
She hates the bloody the bloody execution tactics.
That's really funny because like some poisons are horrifying. Like there are poisons in this world that would cause you to bleed from every orifice in your body.
They say in Fate that Nero gave Locusta one specific thing. Mm-hmm. Locusta can never make poisons that will cause horrible things to the body, cause the body to like really go into pain, suffering. Mm-hmm. But it cannot cause irreversible change because if it kills or takes too much, then you can't use that as a method of torture.
Okay.
So she'll allow torture, but not irreversible change or death.
So I assume she's an assassin.
Yes.
So I see presence concealment, mental pollution, poison. I see poison compounding, toughness to poison, cooking, mushroom. Does that remind you a little bit of poison cooking Bianchi? From
a little bit.
It's also a similar color palette, I think, right? Hold on. I'm gonna. Maybe not. I could be wrong, but no. No, I mean... Yeah. Purples.
Yeah.
Poison cooking Bianchi. We love her. Alright. I see noble phantasms. There are two.
Finis fungus and
I assume
Finis venerum Nero.
So Finis fungus means the final mushroom. Or the final fungus.
So,
Finis verum venenum Nero. The end of Nero? The end of like Venerable Nero or the end of Poison Nero?
Yep.
Yeah.
So for the Finis fungus, Locusta forces a toxic stew down her opponent's throat. It might be painful and it might result in an awful continued life, but it won't kill or cause any irreversible effects without Nero's express permission.
Oh, okay.
And
so
then,
these two servants work well together.
Yeah. And then Finis Vernernum?
I think it's Venenum.
Venenum. Nero. I don't know whether it's I typed it or whether it's autocorrect.
I wonder if it's supposed to be Finis Venerum and here it's written Venenum.
It might
because
be.
Venerum would make more sense in like a root sort of. Hold on. Yeah, I think that maybe supposed to be Venerum. Maybe. I just based on like my knowledge of Latin, I would have assumed that's supposed to be Venerum, but
it's hard to say when you're probably dealing with katakana,
yeah,
or even kanji maybe. But this is Locusta's secret noble phantasm. It's a recreation of the pill that went unused by Nero. It will lull one that takes it into a blissful sleep that slowly kills them, painlessly.
That's nice. Okay, may I?
Yep.
And I assume.
Yep. I just have an entire demonstration.
Oh, I love the multicolored mushroom path. Oh yeah, throw the mushrooms. Or, whatever it is.
ないとこにしてやるです
I love this.
She's a little gremlin.
I love this. Like, I subscribe to Mushroom Cottagecore on TikTok, so I get a lot of, like, mushroom core dress-up videos. And, like, I love the ones where they're like, I'm a poisonous mushroom. And it's all, like, shroomy and stuff. Like, I love this.
そんなんじゃ生き残れないで
And
す
it's so colorful. I do so love the color, Like, 10 out of 10 would dress up as this servant, not in this version, but, like, maybe her second outfit, Not this one, obviously, I would never. But, like, maybe her second outfit, but maybe add the mushroom hat to the second outfit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And just chuck multicolored fake mushrooms at people. Make them out of marshmallow.
How to get kicked out of a convention speedrun.
Just chucking marshmallows at people. I make them like, ooh, you could make them out of like styrofoam peanuts and a little bit of paint. Yeah. And then they wouldn't be dangerous. And, you wouldn't be accidentally throwing food at someone. Why am I actually conceptualizing this? No. Don't back me up on this. Don't be that person. Don't encourage me.
Subscriber goal for the channel.
Don't encourage my poisonous tendencies. Speaking of, turns out I ate spaghetti the other day that was it had black spots on it. I thought it was just the pepper. But chunks of it were like black. I thought it was just the pepper.
Stop eating food that goes bad, Sekhie.
That's all food. All food goes bad.
Stop eating it after it went bad.
I didn't know it went bad. I thought it was the pepper. Goulash. Recently a Zelda game has come out. Does this not remind you a little bit of like the dubious stews that you could make in Zelda? Like I've not played a Zelda game yet, but I know you can make like funky stews,
Alright, so here's the section.
Okay, hold on. I wanna this. I would be willing to dress up as this with the mushroom hat. Like specifically. Okay. Sorry, just wanted to illustrate my point. Here you have the Beast of Revelations up for me.
I will let you do your thing here.
So this isn't
Actually,
gonna
can
be...
you pass me the tea kettle?
Oh, yeah, actually, let me heat it back up because it's cooled down pretty much. So, like I said, I'm not big in the Bible. I don't do that Christianity thing, but I did a little bit of research. So the Book of Revelations was obviously written during the reign of Domitian, and in Revelations in 13:1, there are several beasts, by the way, but the first beast rises out of the sea and is given authority and power by the dragon. And then that one's actually mentioned a little bit earlier, but it's described in detail in 13. There's also a second beast called the false prophet that comes out of the earth. And then these two beasts join forces with the dragon to fight against God and persecute saints and those who do not worship and influence the kings of earth or something. And then they're defeated by Christ and thrown into like a lake of fire or some shit. So there's the beast from the sea who has 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns are 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. With this beast looks like a leopard with the feet of a bear and the mouth of a lion. And this one speaks blasphemies and persecutes saints, right? And then finish. Put that away. Go down. And then there's the second beast who has 2 horns like a lamb and speaks like a dragon. And the second beast is really just there to promote the authority of the first beast, to like make the first beast stronger. And this is the false prophet. And then technically there's a third beast mentioned in Revelation 17 that has 7 heads and 10 horns. But this is a scarlet colored beast with full of names of blasphemy. This one is shown being ridden by a harlot who reigns over the kings of earth, right? And as you switch over to... I haven't gotten there yet. So, there's the mark of the beast and the number of the beast thing, which is, I think, the thing I mentioned involving Domitian, but in Roman numerals, the Roman numeral for 666 is like a specific Roman numeral which is pretty interesting. And then the fate of the false beast and the prophet is to be tormented day and night forever, right? And so it's often the first beast from the sea is identified with Nero in interpretations. The beast from the earth is generally identified with the Roman imperial cult, and so the first beast, the first beast rises from the sea, blasphemes, all that. That's Nero, right? So the Roman imperial cult, we've not really talked about this before on the channel, even though I probably should have brought it up in one of the other two videos, but the Roman imperial cult was essentially started by Augustus, right? And it was this idea that the emperors were like sons of the gods, like the gods of Rome walking on earth. They were deified after their death. So there was a Roman imperial cult, right, which was officially kind of a religion for Rome, and the whole point was to uplift the emperors and kind of promote their divinity, which would make sense with the second beast being the false prophet. So equivalency, the false prophet to the imperial cult, right, promoting Nero, right, which is pretty interesting. I mean, it makes sense, you know what I mean? And then I think there's it also says that like the beast's reign continues for like 42 months, and like the persecution of Nero supposedly went for 4 years, 3.5 years, which is 42 months, which is partially why Nero is called the beast. And then his manner of death corresponds with Revelation 13:10. But fun fact, guess what? Book of Revelations was written 40 years after Nero's death. It's not as if they're prophesying that this is Nero who's going to be the beast. This is someone writing 40 years later talking about events we know that happened. It's an allegory. It's an allegory. Historical events.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's not some amazing thing like, oh my god, he's fucking like Nero is the beast. Yeah, the beast is Nero. That's the fucking
That's the
point.
allegory, not the
yeah.
It's not the literal story, but it is the allegory.
Yeah. Let's see, when you use the name Neron Kaiser or whatever, you get 666, right? In
remember what that one person in Tsukihime was called?
Yeah.
That was the name they used in Tsukihime, which they then changed to Nero.
Yep.
That makes a little bit more sense now.
Yep. Yeah. So you've got some interesting stuff happening, but keep in mind this is all happening like in the post. Of course it's fucking, you know, this, right? And then obviously Nick Nack changed the screen to the Whore of Babylon, the third beast riding Scarlet, who rides the beast, right? The seductress of men, the seductress of kings. This is the Whore of Babylon, who is a symbolic female figure and place, also mentioned in the book of Revelations. It's also called Babylon the Great. It's known as Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And essentially, it's the great city which reigns over the kings of earth, and it's a woman representing that, right? So there's this discussion of this whore in the book of Revelations, right? They talk about one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and said, "Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters," right? And upon her forehead was a written name, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Let's see this. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, 1 is, and the other is not yet to come. And when he comes, he must continue a short space. So it's you've got like a lot of stuff, right? Symbolism going on here, like biblical symbolism having to do with persecution and kind of evils of the world and the temptation of man. And it all really has to do with Roman history and the persecution of Christians and the influence of other religions and peoples onto Christians, right? The whore's downfall is supposed to take place at the hands of the image of the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, right? So
that's as much Bible as I think I can fish out of Sekhie.
I'm gonna be honest. I did not read Revelations for this. I'm not gonna fucking read Revelations for this. Catch me admitting to my unwillingness to read something for this podcast. I am not reading the Bible for this YouTube channel. This is where I draw the line. And you know what the worst part is? There are 3 holy Bibles in this room and not a single one is mine. But they're all up on that shelf over there. And I have not read a single one of them. I think I've read a children's Bible when I was a kid. Gifted to me by a distant family relation. I have no clue where that book is. I think it was gotten rid of within like a year of my owning it. There's very little I can do with Christianity because Christianity has so many different sects and historians and interpretations that there are literally thousands of interpretations and discussions involving
Because some
these
interpretations
characters.
of this, it doesn't say Rome, it says Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm. So there's so many different things that I cannot possibly categorize and bring them all up. I am not a biblical scholar. I don't want to be a biblical scholar. I would rather shoot myself in the head than willingly choose to become a biblical scholar. And that's not to say biblical scholars are bad. Go off. If you want to be a biblical scholar, go off. But that is a clusterfuck that I refuse to involve myself in. It just is. Like, no.
There are some areas of history and myth that are really hard to get Sekhie to touch. Besides, like, the Bible is, like, the farthest possible one. Like,
the Bible, the Quran, I won't touch, not really.
Mm-hmm.
The Torah. The major Abrahamic religions, I generally won't go near with a 10-foot pole because they just have such a
wide variety of interpretations, and if you really, like, even pointing one out is pretty controversial.
Yeah. You point one out and 30 other people think that that's wrong and that you've cited the wrong thing, and I just don't. No.
She doesn't also particularly like to cover American history, but I feel like I kind of prod that out of her pretty well with the
That
the
depends.
sometimes.
I don't necessarily love general American history,
Yeah.
but if you get me onto like a specific topic or person, I can generally sink my teeth in pretty deeply, you know? I mean, there's certain areas of the world that I don't touch, not because I'm not interested, but because I would only touch them when prompted. Like, for example, generally I don't look into the history of sub-Saharan Africa unless I'm prompted. But that's mainly more because it's one of those regions of the world where a lot of the scholarship is either hard to come by at a price that I can pay, or there just aren't a whole lot of people writing that scholarship in English or making it available to, like, the American public. There's some areas where the scholarship is not readily available, right? Like, there's a reason why I'm not, like, out here making videos about Yoruba religion. I know a little. It's fascinating. I love reading about it, but I just don't have enough knowledge to put myself out there about it. And that's how I feel about the major Abrahamic religions. Like, I just feel like I don't know enough to really get involved beyond the fact that I know that a lot of it is in my mind, right? It's allegorical to me, right? Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of this stuff, I can see some of the allegories, but there's also so many different versions of even just looking at the Christian Bible. There's so many different versions and so many books, some included in some versions, some not included in some versions. And then you've got, you know, shit like Mormonism, and it's not an area I want to sink into because it's far too large for me to actually be able to delve into it. You know what I mean? Like, it just is. It's a lot more philosophical and esoteric than I normally...
Because a lot of it's meant to be taken more... Even if you don't believe the literal interpretation of it, a lot of it is still meant to be taken as allegorical.
Yeah, and some people do believe a literal interpretation, and go off, whatever you want to believe. Mm-hmm. I don't, but that's on me.
So, we're going to see a bit of a progression here. The next servants is a little bit hard to talk about because it's kind of a tale split into two different parts.
Sodom and Gomorrah?
No.
I'm making a joke because I can see Sodom.
We'll get there. That is going to be important.
Speaking of, just so y'all know, Sodom and Gomorrah are two... This is one I know. They're two cities in the Bible, both destroyed for different reasons. Sodom because of sodomy. That's where we get the word Sodom, sodomite, sodomy. And Gomorrah, I do forget what Gomorrah was specifically. I know sodomy is homosexuality.
Yeah.
I forgot what Gomorrah is, but they were two cities that were destroyed in the Bible for their perversions.
So let me introduce you to Sodom's beast, or Draco.
Okay.
Let me go through designs first, because there's two forms here.
Mm-hmm.
Draco actually can take on two classes. If you're an FGO arcade, Draco is an alter ego.
Okay.
If you're an FGO proper, Draco is our first beast class servant that's summonable.
Oh, okay.
So this is the arcade variation here. It's a welfare servant, so there's only two forms.
Oh yeah, the last welfare servant we saw was a while ago.
Yeah. In arcade, Draco's a 5-star welfare. This is Draco as a premature beast.
Yeah.
So not quite ascended to beasthood.
Okay.
Click into the next one.
This one?
Yeah. This is Draco in proper FGO, who became just a 5-star summonable servant.
Okay.
I pulled her on stream.
Oh. Oh. Is this why you said hold on to me saying I didn't find Nero Claudius attractive?
Yeah. Do I know you too well?
It's literally Draconid.
Yeah.
I really need to hang up that monster fucker poster my friend
I
got
figured
me.
you would appreciate this.
Mommy smash me. Even better, Sodom, homosexuality. I'm open! The perks of being bisexual.
So.
I want to clarify, not the child form. That's adorable, but no. No. Hot mommy dragon, yes.
Okay, so this Draco here is the servant version of one of the beasts from Revelation.
Uh-huh.
Presumably the first or the third.
Okay, I was gonna say, because, like...
The third has similar properties of the first. It's kind of unclear if it's even a third beast.
Yeah, like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because the first is likely Nero Claudius. It's most likely a reference. And the first and third are described almost exactly the same way. It's just that one is described specifically as red and ridden by the Whore of Babylon. So, yeah, you know.
So
make of that what you will. And if anyone actually studies the Bible, you know what? I actually would be interested to know if we've got any, like, people who
study it and have sort of their breakdowns of all this.
Yeah, we have an eclectic mix of people who subscribe to the channel, and a lot of you know a lot about Fate lore, and a lot of you have likely delved into some other lore the way we do, the way I do sometimes. So if y'all know anything, I mean, obviously be respectful and polite in the comments, but I read it. I'd be interested. I would. I just don't want to do it myself.
So, Draco here is the primary antagonist of Fate Grand Order Arcade.
Oh.
In Arcade, they don't explore much of the Nero connection. Instead, it's played pretty straight. This is the beast from Revelation. Yeah.
Okay. Which, if you know the Bible, you would associate with Nero, but otherwise you would not.
Yeah. The second appearance is an FGO proper. She is a major character from the event that is a collaboration with Arcade called Lilum Harlot. This literally just finished a few weeks ago in NA.
Yeah, were you playing it on stream?
I didn't play it on stream, but I did complete the event, and I did pull Draco on stream.
Oh yeah, because you're not that far in JP, right?
Well, no, it's just that events release like day to day, so it'd be hard to stream it.
Yeah.
I can do story, but not... If they release it as a main interlude ever, which they probably will, I will go ahead and stream myself doing all the fights, but...
Okay, that makes sense.
But Draco here is a mix of the beast itself within Nero's body, and her it's using her sense of self-loathing and internalizing the events and accusations of her lifetime and afterwards. She amasses her power by replicating the incineration of humanity that takes place in part 1 of FGO using the 7 heads of the beast as replacements for the demon pillars. Sorry. No, that's fine.
I'll fix that.
Oh,
goodness, everyone! You saw her when she was so small she fit in one hand. Now look at this chunky monkey. Look at this beast. She's massive. Jesus Christ, that fucking cat. She's so big. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So this all changes at the 6th singularity, where it's revealed that the demon pillars, they're not demon pillars, but dragon heads.
Oh, okay.
And it's eventually revealed that Draco was a variation of Nero, which that fact has been hinted for a very long-ass time within Type Moon, back to her earliest appearances.
Okay. Yeah.
The dragons she uses are the 7 heads of the beast, while Nero herself acts as the whore of Babylon.
Okay.
And together they become...
Riding the beast.
They become Beast 6S, with the S standing for Sodom.
Okay.
The other half is Beast 6G, standing for Gomorrah.
Yeah. Although that makes sense now with the third beast, if this is the whore of Babylon riding the beast and the red coloring and stuff, it does remind you of the third beast. But the third beast is likely just the first beast again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Beast 6 is also notable because it makes an appearance in Fate Prototype, or at least a side of it does. Arthur spends his time searching for the beast across Fate timelines to defeat it. Nero here is also directly... there's a direct connection from this Nero to the Nero from Fate Extra. The result is that this beast, or the two beasts themselves, are one of the longest running ongoing plot lines of Type Moon that are still ongoing at this point, because we've only seen Beast 6S.
Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, because you haven't shown me Beast 6G. Is there not a Beast 6G yet?
We don't know who Beast 6G is yet.
Do you mind just looking up Gomorrah on your phone? Because now it's killing me a little bit, and I've got a cat in my lap. You know? Oh, soon to be on the table. Hello, my chunky kitten. Goodness, you're so large. Peaches, let him look up. Let him look up Gomorrah.
One of the...
Oh.
It's not as common of a term as
Yeah. You want me
a place notorious for vice and corruption.
Okay, vice and corruption. All right.
Not
Oh
like
man.
What? She got some hair in your teeth?
More than a little.
Hi, Peaches.
God damn it. Oh. No.
Supposedly, the two beasts did split after Arthur's initial confrontation from it. Or, at least, that's when one of the beasts appeared off the other. It's unknown which one he was seeing in Fate Prototype.
Okay.
The one in Fate Prototype that Arthur sees is called the Beast of 666. That's why we were like, oh!
When I mentioned the thing about the name.
I'm wondering if Beast of 666 is going to just straight up be Damocles.
Damocles.
Sorry, not Damocles. Who is it?
I said Domitian, but also
Domitian.
when I was just double checking my own research, I wonder if maybe my professor was the one who told us all about that and showed us how to do it. But when I was looking it up online just a couple minutes ago, because I wanted to double check myself, it appeared to be just Nero. So I wonder if maybe my professor gave us the wrong name and forgot to fact check himself.
Maybe.
Because it was on his lecture slides, and I still have those, so I could look back. But I'm pretty sure he said that was Domitian, and when I looked it up online,
it could also be one of those things of interpretations too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but yeah, so 666 makes sense. Yeah.
As far as abilities, as I pointed out earlier, she's unique with the two different classes, both of which are extra classes. She primarily fights using the recreations of her dragon heads. Oh yeah, you can also check her relationships here.
My foolish self. How easygoing she is, ignorant of who she truly is. That's funny. You come after me, Locusta, always the laudable woman. It's almost like a how dare you. Do not follow me around. My patience is wearing down. We are both beasts, fundamentally incompatible. Hey, stop! I do not want your hugs or head pats. You are not my mother. It's fucking Tiamat. I love that. Merlin Prototype. We are incompatible, beast of the planet. Yeah, I forget we've met some of the beasts already.
We haven't met Merlin, really, though.
No, but we've met Cath Palug, and we've met Tiamat, and yeah. The Knight of the Holy Sword pursuing a beast, huh? But I am not your true target. Your real objective is the G1. Am I correct? The Gomorrah. Okay. First son, Old Man of the Mountain. Yep. Oh, other beasts. Oh, yeah, we also met Koyanskaya.
Yep, that's just a list of our different beasts.
Yeah.
here,
Oh, and I forgot Akama was also a beast. My esteemed uncle is here. Sounds like a good chance to rip his head off and throw it at my foolish self. That was a joke. Forget it. Quit it, divine ancestor. I am not of Rome. That's funny. Your hostility is all too apparent, Boudica. You are in the right, for in this form, I am the very Rome you hated. Okay. So what's the difference between heliocentric and geocentric?
Geocentric's the big mommy one.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what I was wondering. All right. Nero Claudius. I figured she would be here. My foolish... This is basically the same thing. Oh, except for the bit about the bridal gown. Okay. All right. Let us celebrate, Locusta. You are in charge of the dinner. The occasion demands the food of the gods. Or you may call it super mushroom time. What's that? You also have your ascensions? Do not challenge me. This is no competition, but I knew it. I am taller.
Because Tiamat also grows with her ascensions.
I know, but like, I'm here for tall dragon mommy.
Mommies, tall dragon mommies.
Goddamn. Let's see. Other beasts. Okay. Caligula, no. Uncle, I am not my mother, not Agrippina, but I see, Uncle, even like this, you are still capable of shedding tears for me. Alright. Divine ancestor, in the end, I never have learned what Rome means to me. I still don't know. However, this is also a form of Rome, I suppose. Ah, Boudica, you've conquered your setting sun long before I ever conquered mine. Okay.
So, yeah.
Interesting. And there's their class skills. Authority of the Beast, Independent Manifestation, Nega Messiah.
So every one of the beasts has the Nega skill. Hers is Nega Messiah.
Oh, okay. All right, that's what I was wondering. Okay, Number of the Beast. Yep, remember that. The 666 engraved on herself. The 7 crowns
Remember,
of the Beast.
Nero Summer had that too.
Yep,
and it was
7
referencing
crowns.
this.
Yep. Aria Poculum. Okay.
So that corrupted Grail is actually the Grail that Agrippina tried to use to poison Nero. The one that because you see her carrying around some of the artwork.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we've got a Babylon Domus Aria, the Golden Palace of Babylon. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, she locks him in the leader and destroys it along with herself and along everyone in it with her.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. You want me to shut?
Yeah, you can shut that.
I'm gonna close the Wikipedia to Wikipedia. Okay.
So we have a collection of videos here. But first, let's move to this, actually.
Oh, okay.
So this is, when she's in her form, this is what she would be writing. This is the rebloomed Bestia Coccinea?
I'd say Bestia Coccinea. Or Coccinea.
So this is the beast, the beast that the Whore of Babylon rode in Revelation. Oh. Usually Nero keeps them inside of her to empower her in combat and use for fighting the 7 dragon heads. But in the event that the beast is let out of or even rebelled against Nero, it becomes the rebloomed Bestia Coccinea.
Nice.
This is just as much Beast 6S as Nero is herself, so they're both Beast 6S.
Yeah, it's just that's Draco and this is Sodom's Beast.
Yeah.
Okay. I see you have a lot of videos for me.
So this is Nero when you're. This is what happens when you're. No, this is regular mobile.
This is her Grand Order Arcade.
Oh, it is. You're right. My bad. We don't have to keep watching past the summoning line just because they don't have a full trailer.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, these are ascension lines unless you want to see her just talking.
I don't know. Do I get to see her in her mommy outfit?
Not here.
Damn. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. She's just talking for the rest of this video.
Okay, and you can just close out, and this will be her arcade demonstration.
Yeah.
We're just gonna watch this, by the way.
Okay. Why?
Because it might go into something I don't need to show you. Also, I couldn't find the whole Japanese ones.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh. Oh, yeah, the 7 heads of the dragon. Oh, that little tail twist is cool.
Yeah, we can stop that there, I think.
Okay.
This is her summoning an FGO.
Okay.
This is particularly special, so I wanted to show you.
Oh, it's a new class card. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's a beast. Oh.
I thought I should show that to you, because that's the sickest summoning animation in FGO.
Yeah.
Like, the entire
What
summoning
the
circle
fuck?
shuts the fuck down.
Yeah.
我が名はドラコ。ソドムの獣。ドラコ。
God damn. Oh.
ああ、そうだ。
Got a little eye close animation. Man. They really went all out for this.
ビースト。
The evil lolly laugh.
They really have her like animated in there practically, because normally there isn't much of a.
I don't normally show you the summoning animations.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have a little bit more, like they'll
Yeah.
fuck around a little bit.
And
And this is a demonstration.
okay.
Actually, no, it's just her NP. But
Oh. Okay.
薬剤は海より来たる。見るがよ。
Okay, and the heads of the dragon. Here you go.
this is regular FGO, too.
Damn! That looks better than arcade. Mostly because the arcade video was a little
It's a little grainier.
grainy, but
yeah.
damn.
And you can close out of that, because that's just the reveal stream.
Oh, that looks just as good. Holy shit.
And then her NP changes during her final form. And this is also the battle against the Rebloom Beast.
Oh, okay.
よ今気分
Oh, this is mommy.
災難だったな。
You also know all three servants there.
Oh, I do. Is that Koyanskaya
Yep.
and
欲望
欲望の熱は止まらない。
two beasts?
剣を見せる。
It's interesting that she was almost like playing her sword like an
Yeah.
instrument just now. I mean, I don't know if that's maybe a reference to
白兵戦
It's probably a reference to Nero,
Claudius.
sort of.
the fiddling while Rome
Yeah.
burned.
完全敗北。リノベーション始めます。
Lower the volume on it just a
荒
bit.
ぶる獣の
I'm like
抱擁
looking
を
at the audio track over here and going, oh boy.
我が舌を喜ばせる。
Koyanskaya. But yeah. Okay. Mommy.
薬剤は海より来た。見るがよい。
Oh.
繁栄の答え。
So there's footage on screen of me defeating the Tiamat Beast fight with this NP. And
How did I miss that?
And then you can keep watching if you want to see some of the Bestia's animations here,
Jesus.
because they're not killing it in one round.
Yeah. How did I miss this? Was I not on the stream?
This was the Babylonia stream, my second to last stream.
Wasn't I hanging out there?
I don't think so, or you were hanging out a lot more lightly.
Maybe I wasn't hanging out in that stream. Huh. Was this the one where they kept telling you to use Locusta?
They always tell me to use Locusta, and I've had her since
Oh.
Camelot, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was a stream recently I wasn't hanging out because I just couldn't make it. Okay, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
watch that.
So, we still have. Where they did go.
I see the Horror of Babylon there.
So, this is
something to
not
tell
in
me?
Fate Grand Order proper, but in Fate Grand Order Arcade, we actually do get to see the fully formed Beast 6S, which
Okay.
at that point Nero goes from Draco, or Sodom's Beast, to the Horror of Babylon,
Okay.
which is the final form of her, like when she's actually accepted being the Beast.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Mommy. Fuck me. That was an invitation, ma'am.
So, like her Draco form, she primarily fights with the Bestia. I'm not even going to pronounce that.
Bestia Cochina.
But she also seems to like raining down apocalyptic hellfire while fighting. Her NP is Oblitus Rose Theatrum. I'm sure you'll be able to pronounce it when you see it.
I gotta find it.
Yeah. There it is.
Oblitus Rose Theatrum. Obliterate the theater of roses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here she causes an apocalyptic flood that drowns her opponents.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise she's capable of recreating the entire events of Fate Grand Order almost verbatim.
I mean, I know we're going to see it in a second.
Yeah.
I'm just...
Yeah.
God damn.
Taking that artwork.
Mommy. Koyanskaya has been unseated as my favorite beast. You know, yeah, I really liked Koyanskaya, but I really like Tiamat, and I really like this. So yeah. Holy shit. I love it. I love this.
And
I assume I'm going here now.
Yep.
And I can close these two?
Yeah.
Okay. God damn. Oh! Red eyes and fangs. Red eyes and fangs, knick-knack. Red eyes and fangs. Perfection. Perfection. Goddamn.
You close out of the Wikipedia pages, and we have CEs to cover here.
We have so many fucking CEs, I bet.
With Nero proper, probably.
Alright, we do have...
Base of Ballroom.
And it's a different artist. Different eyes, different outfit. Cute outfit, though. Very cute. Alright, icons. Oh, yeah, because she's got...
The billion costumes?
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, sprites. Okay. Oh, so many expression. I love the loading. Don't you love the loading? Homie, I can't even click out of this. Okay, there we go. I'm like... Wait, Okay. Alright. Because I wanted to see a couple of these. Oh, look. She's got a little...
I declare myself the winner.
Oh, congratulations. Okay. I just wanted to see those little... Oh, God, she gets more. Did you see this?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What is...
The winner of all the... I don't know if that's what's going on there, but the winner of the...
events.
It's literally the Obama giving himself a medal.
Yeah. Okay, so there's her command code.
I don't know if that's actually what that spreads are. I can't remember.
Okay, so she does have a figure from dual figures. However, we do have some extra art. Oh, I remember this. We've got the Tamamos, and there she is. I now know who that is. Let's see, Bathory. That's Koyanskaya? One of them?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And that's Vladdy. Oh! Yeah.
That's Ganesha Jineko.
Yeah, Ganesha. I don't know everyone yet, but I will eventually. Aww. Cute. Oh. Author likes art of her. Yeah.
Yeah, this was not the artist of the original Saber either, so.
Knick-knack. I'm gonna kill you.
At this rate, we might beat out our longest video Gilgamesh twice in one day.
Oh, God, I think I opened that one. I guess we're gonna see.
See him out of order.
I'm just gonna hope I open that check ready. But we've already seen Check Ready, so
Yeah.
I just realized that. We've already seen it. All right. Nightless okay. Nightless Rose. Okay. They say that dawn comes to every night, but some nights never end. Behold, the glory illuminates the city, and in the end it summons her. Charged. Imperial chocolates. I made this myself. The laurel wreath is the symbol of the Roman emperor, you know. You'd better keep that in mind as you gnash your teeth on that chocolate. I mean, it is very pretty.
Yep. Not a lot to say on these ones.
No, Last Encore.
That's
Well,
a tie-in
really
with an
pretty.
anime.
I know, but this is really pretty.
Yeah, so the anime, I don't care for it. But it was actually done by Shaft, the people that did Madoka.
Oh,
So if you see a similarity in art style.
Oh, yeah, the background does kind of look like one of the,
Madoka's... That studio has an art style where you can kind of tell it's kind of all trippy.
She looks up at the soaring ceiling, the applause fades, and the glory is gone, and many wishes have shattered into dust. Is there light in that purgatory? I like the reflection on the ruined theater, because this is definitely a theater in ruins. Ah, thunderous applause, the theater in all its glory. O heaven, let ye construct and show thy supreme light. The name of the theater is Domus Aurea. It's an imaginary heaven decorated with a crimson awning and gold. But it is more than something beautiful. Glorious days, cruel betrayals, merciless misunderstandings, and even unrealized blessings. She loved them all and praised their beauty. The applause wasn't for the heroine on the stage, but for the life of everyone who was there. Interesting. Okay. How many servants do I know in this image? 1, 2,
2, 3.
3? Is that... No, I know her.
I think you know top right.
Her?
Is that Nightingale?
Maybe, but I cannot tell, so I'm just gonna... Fate Grand Order USA, the 1-year anniversary.
That's Nightingale, because those are the major
Okay.
characters from different singularities.
Oh, anniversary heroines. Okay.
This is
Saber.
this is MHX's hit list.
Annihilation list, yeah. Saber shall die, Saber shall die, Saber shall die!
MHX suddenly your favorite version of Saber.
A little
Kill
bit,
all the
yeah.
Sabers.
A little bit, yeah.
There's too many of them.
Glory is with me. Alright. A woman in bright red announces the start of the festivities. Cheer for our brave warriors. Blessings upon our honored heroes. Of course, the light doesn't just shine for the heroes who cross swords. May it bring great blessings to the path of every single one here in this place. Nice. Fate Extella. There's Tamamo. And there's Artoria. And there's Emiya. And there's Iskandar. Barely,
Yep.
I think.
It's got a bit of a Star Wars thing where the most important
Yeah.
characters are front and
And
center
that's
while,
Altera, isn't it?
while side characters are off to the side. And for some reason, Artoria is there, despite only being a secret character in the game.
Is that Altera?
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure. A new chapter begins. Who will win the Moon Holy Grail? The Moon Holy Grail War ended, and peace had returned to the serial phantasm Seraph. But an unexpected accident splits the regalia, the symbol of kingship, into two and renders it unable to fully function. The world of the moon starts to change. You rise once more to become the ruler of the moon. Okay. Oh, the Spiritron portrait.
And that's just her Extella outfit.
Yeah. A servant in the serial phantasm who possesses the symbol of kingship, a master of the sword who began as an emperor and who now heads once more into the battlefield with new equipment. Her unique aesthetic sense and proud personality will once again make her a great rose blooming on the battlefield. The Roman zone is the heart of Seraph. We have many gift shops. They really do.
They have a lot of commemorative outfits, that's for sure.
Si Wales Waleo.
This was Caligula's then.
Yep, because I just got this.
Yep.
Yep. I remember going over this when we did Caligula.
The bust of Nero.
Yep. Okay, heroic spirit formal dress. This is what I expect from a formal dress. I like that. For a formal dress, I do actually enjoy that. I think it's a
This is one of the few
choice.
formal dresses they've ever turned into a costume, too. Because this is one of her
Yeah.
costumes.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I like that. It's like, it's a little skimpy, but whatever. It's cute. Speaking of skimpy.
Hey, look, it's the red cape she wanted.
Oh, yeah. Battle Olympia. Dressed in crimson battle gear, the beautiful warrior with the sword declares mightily, "Great heroes of the ages who battled across the world, the time has come to show your valor, both to me and to the audience. This year's Nero Fest will be another lavish festival. Let's go all out. The great competition begins. What formidable enemies await in this year's finale?" We did a Nero Fest.
Yes, you did.
Vorn won it.
Yes, he did.
Barely. The fucking bitch.
Fate Extra.
Okay, I assume that's the master?
That's the male option for the master.
Oh, okay. Alright. The story of man and hero set in the near future. Its premise is at once familiar and new in essence. A Spiritron computer on the moon called Mooncell Automaton with the power to grant any wish. Seraph, a serial phantasm that was created by the Mooncell. In a digital world meant to be a new world for humanity, an all too familiar yet unknown battle is about to begin. There's a lot of shit about fucking Seraph and the moon. I mean, I know it's the big thing, but...
It's because she is the mascot character for that side of the series.
Yeah. Alright. Ultra beautiful Empress Chaco. Oh, it's this one.
Chocolate.
A chocolate inspired by the statue of Venus found in the Golden Theater by the sea. It is an intricately carved masterpiece in both design and taste. Why is it a statue of winged Venus? Nero herself doesn't know. She says it just came to her. I initially designed it to create a cute mascot, but the next thing I knew, I'd made this.
Hey.
Love it. Cherish it as if it were
Go
me.
back up. Huh. Those wings, they incorporated them into Aphrodite later on.
Oh,
Do you remember our Aphrodite
yeah.
design?
Yeah.
Fun.
Well, it's also about, I mean, they directly reference the winged Venus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That was also her Nero Summers Valentine's. So.
I somehow know this. I somehow recognize some of these characters.
2 of them, at least.
1,
3
2,
of them.
3, 4? Didn't we?
Nope.
Did we not?
We have not covered him yet. Who do you think he is?
I don't know.
Then we didn't cover him yet.
For some reason, he seemed familiar.
Oh, sorry, yeah, though.
Missed it. Aww. Look at her in her little travel outfit, or whatever outfit. Travel outfit. I was right. Yep, 3rd anniversary. It's been a while. There's a little cat by her feet. Did you see that? Watch.
I can't see it. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right.
Kitty! Oh.
That's a good outfit.
Yeah. It's cute.
And she's got a red cape again.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and that is the last of the Nero regular CEs. Oh, wait,
Alright.
is this...
Oh, do we have Nero Claudius twice? Yeah. What? Oh, did I not open a few of them? No, I did.
Oh, I know what happened. Remember when you clicked the CE, it clicked into this page again.
Oh.
Return match is the one that you were trying to open before.
Okay. All right. Here's return match. Cute. Very cute outfit. I mean, whatever. I don't know. The Rose Emperor enjoys fighting whenever, wherever. It is not the star of the festival who wins the show, but rather the hero who always wins that deserves such a title. It is a cute outfit. I mean, nice design. Nope. We already did that one.
Did this one too, but where is that Nero?
There she is. She's in her victory outfit. Oh, I recognize that person. Sorry, I'm just trying. Is that a Hassan?
Yeah, that's a cat dressed as Hassan.
Okay. All right. The Grand Temple of Time saw. So we saw this before, but now I know that that's for certain.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know many other people here.
You know Enkidu, you
I know
know
that,
Nightingale?
and there's Nightingale. Yeah, there's Enkidu, but I know this. It's Roman. And there's Mash. That's Da Vinci, right?
Yeah.
And I know who this is by process of elimination, unfortunately. But you know, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. Shining Rose Bouquet. Okay. No matter how many times she falls to the ground, the bellowing flame will rise again. Her passion dashes up from the land of limbo like a shooting star. What the fuck are you doing, Cat? Oh, she found the toy. He found the toy. Okay.
Is that Loki?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's Loki. The ocean of stagnation, the forest of remorse, the garden of memories, the woods of reverberation, the city of pouring rain, the tombstone of eternity, the summit of the sun. The 7 monuments will reverse the phases of death. O stars upon the heavens, please give her a generous applause. May the final setting sun reach a most glorious end. Interesting. Okay. Moon fragment.
So you could see the female master
Yeah.
in the background there now, too.
Yeah, I see both now. So I didn't realize she had an ass slit in the back of her dress.
Thing is, like, there are some of those more provocative elements in her design. They're not going to be accentuated on every version of her character. It depends on the who's drawing her and...
Oh, it was in
Yeah.
almost every NP we watched. I almost commented
True.
on it. Moon Cell Automaton is the spiritual computer of the... Pretty sure I already read pretty much exactly this a couple CEs ago. I'm not reading that again. Too much Seraph shit. Alright, Song of the Cradle. Yeah, pretty white dress.
You know one of the lines that's associated with Gigguk's Fate explanation video?
What?
We don't talk about the moon. Actually, I think I don't remember if that was Gigguk or not Gigguk, but
Hey!
Google Translate? Or you can just highlight and translate.
Here I was thinking I'd get out of it. Apparently, no. Dancing under the golden sky, it's a flower swaying in the wind, and the flame that watches over the night, swaying, swaying, alone, dreaming of the rain of applause, as if dozing off, as if singing. That's actually not a terrible translation. I
No.
kind of get what's happening.
That even managed to maintain a lot of, like, the...
Yeah, the cadence.
Yeah.
All right, new Nero Claudius now.
That's
Baseball.
a different artist, too.
It is. And I think this is one we haven't seen before because I don't recognize the art style. Or, you know, it's just slightly different enough for me not to. I'm just looking. Alright. Sprites. Okay. Nothing new. What? Oh, she's got a dual figures as her bridal form. And we do have a little bit of... Oh, that's just a... Okay, we do have this. There we go. Okay.
Oh, I understand what that was now.
Oh. What?
So her old attack animations, apparently if you put them all side by side, they spelled out love.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They don't do that anymore, I don't think.
Aw, that's disappointing. Okay. And we do have a command code. Okay. Alright. Oh, thank God. This is now our second longest episode ever recorded outside of updates.
Recorded on the same day as our longest.
Alright, Maybreeze. Yes, I made this myself. Our wedding is still a ways off, but here, take this sweet bouquet. I hate white chocolate.
I love white chocolate.
I hate that shit. Okay, so it's like a wreath made of ring of bay laurel. All right. The laurel wreath is the proof of the emperor. I am the #1 citizen of Rome as well as the Rose Emperor, and those who accept me shall receive even greater blessings. Umu, accept me with all your heart. Umu, something is inscribed on my ring? Well, of course. To have and to hold, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, until death do us part, swear that you will care for me for eternity. Marriage! Also, this is a reference to princeps. Because that's what princeps means, like the first citizen of Rome. I just thought I'd bring that up.
No, I mean, glad you brought... Because you brought that up earlier, too.
Goddamn. They really
Emphasize the titty.
I was a little more tactful. Princess of the White Rose, she's a blessed woman. While the bloom of the white rose is the most radiant among the multitude of flowers, they also reveal a quiet beauty when wet with morning dew. Such a smile is for one person alone. It's actually kind of sweet. I mean, she does look happy. You know? Joint recital! And now I know who this is from this CE with Bathory. Yep. Their promise in North America realized, the princesses of the White Rose and the Eternal Night raised their voices in song. On a special live stage at the Trier Amphitheater, their ringing voices are truly a feast for both heaven and earth. Some people call it hell, but that is only one person's opinion. The sweet, spicy, numbing, and soaring music is unforgettable to the audience. Or rather, it is unforgivable.
Neither of them are very good singers.
Show up in the North America chapter?
Congratulations.
Yay! I now know. Because NA is next. North America's next for us in campaign. Like, that's our next major chapter. I've already called dibs on all the Celts. But to be honest, Vorn can have. Vorn really likes...
You also can summon the both of them already.
Oh, that's true. Well, Vorn already has both of them.
Yeah.
Vorn really likes Nero Claudius. Let's be honest here. Vorn almost stuck around to hang out for this episode, except it's super late and he wanted to go home.
And we did tell him it would be a bit of a long one.
Yeah. All right.
This is Sakura dressed up as Nero.
Oh, I was literally just gonna say, is that a different art style? No, it's a different fucking character,
It's
you
cosplay.
moron. I'm a fucking heroic spirit costume, Nero Claudius. All right. The 5th emperor of the Julio-Claudian dynasty. She was a talented, selfish, and ingenious emperor, adored by all for her childlike attitude. Clad in white, her beauty is not of this world.
That is only something Nero could have written.
Oh, yeah. Jewel Bride. Okay.
Nero in
It's
a
in a
fucking
snow
snow
globe.
globe. I love snow globes. I collect snow globes.
I know. A lone bride who has been trapped in glass. She is beautiful like a jewel and yet is also something akin to a prank pulled by the devil himself. You are the only one who can save her. After all, it's the job of the hero to rescue the captured princess. Okay.
So I'll take a baseball bat to that snow globe.
Mean. Caster. Alright. Baseball. This is back to the first. And look, she's on the same team, but she's a
Yep.
cheerleader. Okay. Jesus. There's a statue. She just a okay. Alright. She has a lot of sprites. Okay. There's...
Oh yeah, there's her car.
Oh. Oh. I hate that. That's the Wadjet.
Yep.
Why is the Wadjet there?
Because she was racing Nitocris.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that Nitocris was in that event, too. I love you. We've actually already seen one of these.
Yep.
Oh.
The rainbow changed.
I know, but red, yellow, green, blue, purple. Oh, it's inverted. They've inverted the colors.
Yeah. Wonder if that was a mistake originally.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because the new one's in the right order. All right. Domus area de Curcubeo Mare. Oh, sea. Mare means sea in Italian. I would assume that this is maybe the name of...
Rainbow.
Yeah. Okay, Rainbow Sea. All right. The theater comes from the sea. This is truly the high-class Aurora, my golden theater. If the Roman bus is the best in space, a tyrannical pool should be the Earth's best. The endless transparent Mediterranean sky and the summer sunlight create a beautiful arch over the new theater. This is all for the Lord Master of the Summer. A singing voice will physically blow away any catastrophes and obstacles and bring about a glorious victory like no other. What does that mean? Is this a mistranslation?
You know, I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
I'm just gonna... Fucking hell, come on. No, that's bus and swimming pool.
You know what? That's just a reference to something Fate, most likely, that I can't possibly comprehend. Or it's a reference to something space.
Okay, no. So the direct translation said that this was a tyrant's swimming pool. Which would make sense, because there was a swimming pool inside the Oris Domea.
Yeah.
I showed you. The bus, though.
No, that's what I'm like, I don't know what that's a reference to.
Yeah, the bus I don't know. Okay. We saw this one.
Yeah.
Ultra beautiful mascot. Locusta.
She probably won't have many, if any, CEs at all. So
Well,
we'll
we
take a
can
look at
look.
her materials that they have.
She
them in.
should have at least one. Right? Sprites. She's so cute. Expression sheet. Others. Nope. Craft essence. One. It's her craft.
Because she hasn't had Valentine's yet.
Yeah. Food offering for the gods. Oh, ooh, mushrooms. Here's the thing. I love mushrooms. Knick Knack knows this. I love mushrooms.
I can't stand mushrooms.
Knick Knack does not like mushrooms. It's very funny.
Brand new. Although we can read that last line.
All right, let's see if I can... Okay. Oh, porcini, morels, and chanterelles, and of course truffles. We Romans loved mushroom dishes. It seems that the Celts believed that mushrooms contained evil powers. Well, I can't deny it. In fact, there were many times when I died from poisonous mushrooms. But it paid off, and the Romans learned to distinguish between edible and poisonous mushrooms. Huh? Why do you call mushroom dishes the food of the gods? My father ate mushrooms and became a god.
Also,
I
how
think
does she
they're-
die multiple times?
Well, I think it's a reference to her trying the mushrooms to figure out if they were poisonous or not.
Oh.
You know? Although I will say, I do personally find that there are certain mushroom dishes that I would call the food of the gods. Fucking ambrosia, am I right? You hate mushrooms, so you do not get this. Knick-Knack's got a thing against fungi.
Yeah.
I like mushrooms.
Look, I'm just not a fun guy.
I like mushrooms. I really like Locusta. I think I agree with I agree with chat. I like Locusta. Alright. Sodom's Beast.
So this is the arcade one. I don't know how much extra artwork we'll have of her, but
we'll
may as well
see.
look.
Worst comes to worst, we have nothing. Yep, nothing. just those. Okay. Should have something here.
Yeah. We'll at least have her Bond Seed.
Yeah. Not much. Okay.
This would be our second or
there we
third
go.
newest servant, so it would make sense if we don't have
Oh,
much
we do have a shit ton of
animation cards. They put a lot of production value into her.
Skull 1. I want to take a look at these. Yeah, so she is like playing it like a guitar almost. Okay. Makes sense. Oh, riding the dragon.
I assume you want this in campaign.
I very much want this in campaign. I want this so much in campaign, Knick-Knack. That's just epic.
Yeah, that's her dragon head thing.
I know, and it's fucking epic. This is how I would keep her. Others? Nope, just the regular. Okay. It's her sword. Astus Estus Terminus Fire. Yep.
It's actually translated.
Catastrophe is like a meteor. The gauntlet of crimson dragons, beloving sword, the blaze of the primordial flame, ignited by the 7 dragons and reforged. That is the crimson sunset that sustained the view. That is the burning heart of blood gushing from the throat. That is the warmth of life that is constantly lost. That's right, the flames that burn the world. Come, let us mourn for the past. Shun betrayal, lament the estrangement. Curse the unfulfilled blessings. At least the only me that was left could be with the tears of that day. Ah, a dying cry that is impossible to convey, like dazzling love tearing the sky apart. That's pretty epic. That's pretty fucking epic.
So I can take a guess as to what your favorite servant you've seen today is. Specifically the final form of Draco.
Yep, although Locusta is a
Very
close second. A very close second. I like the psychedelic mushroom. And her CE was great. Like, chanterelle, porcini, like, all the different mushroom types and stuff, and then the references to poison and mushrooms. Like, that was really well done. I enjoyed that.
You'd be happy to know they're both going to appear on stream plenty of times.
Yeah, because you have one of them.
I have
you
both of them.
You have both of them now.
Yep.
10 out of 10. I'm very much a fan of this. Like, very, very much a fan of this.
It got better as it went on for you.
It did. I'm really not that much of a fan of the normal Nero Claudius design.
But like as time went on, like you didn't care for regular Nero.
Yeah.
Bride Nero was just regular Nero
Yeah.
again. Castor Nero you liked a little bit more, especially the second design.
Yep, second design was
Locusta
cute.
you liked, and then
Locusta I loved, and this was...
And let's not forget the cherry on top that was the full Mother Harlot design.
Also, dragons. You know you can get me with dragons. It's always dragons. I love dragons. I love dragons so much. Like, there are so many dragons in this room alone. Like, I have so many dragon figures.
I'm glad that I called properly the... Just hang on for a minute.
Yeah, on whether or not I like Nero Claudius. Yeah.
Vorn may have to fight you for the last one.
Yeah, well, we can both get her.
Eventually.
Yeah, it's just I'll keep her in this form, and
By then,
Vorn
do you
will...
know how long that roll table will be?
That's fair. Yeah, but I'll just save up and do a targeted summon. You know I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rich. Plus, I think Vorn would prefer the bride version.
He has the bride version.
I know,
so.
and that's like one of his favorites. He likes the bride version.
So, I forgot this originally, and, you know, I feel like I would be crucified for forgetting this, because arguably, on the internet space, this might be one of Fate's biggest contributions to the general, like, internet online community. And it's all thanks to Nero. Sekhie's probably even heard of this. I don't know if
you
Sekhie's
have me
connected this to
worried.
Nero before.
You have me worried.
Sekhie, just so this title doesn't spoil, you mind closing your eyes for a minute?
Sure. What's up?
Okay, I just need to full screen this so that you're not seeing the title. I think I could spacebar this to... I
or
guess
you
it
could
won't
just
go away.
click the
Okay, it's
full
it's
screen. Okay.
Good. This abomination of a meme is Nero's fault.
I remember when you put this on the channel around Christmas because we had posts by that time.
And that is all. That is the important reason I brought you here.
Jesus fucking Christ, Knick-Knack. Yeah.
So yeah. Next video. What's the... Oh! How do I even... That is Nightwing's ass up there.
You just noticed that?
I just noticed that Nightwing was double mooning me.
I also have him like hands up like this and provocatively like ass out. You can't see him
No,
from
it's
our
cut
angle.
off right off the video, but
You can see
Nightwing's
his
ass
face.
is double mooning me right now.
I found this figure that actually has Nightwing with a really big ass because Nightwing has a fat ass in the comics, and I asked on, remember y'all, I asked on stream if I could, which one would be more acceptable, an R-rated figure or an innocent figure positioned in a provocative way. So, Nightwing's ass out.
Yeah.
You just saw that. I'm gonna move him down to a different shelf so he'll actually be visible. I just haven't done it yet. I could even put him on his knees. I've shocked Knick-Knack into silence. He was trying to think of a hint for the next video.
You deserve to get tuberculosis and die.
Well, unfortunately for you, I'm not a Victorian child. So what about that next servant, huh? 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 Who is it? Who's it gonna be? Give us a hint. Give us a hint, Knick-Knack.
What if I already did?
Oh!
See you next time, folks.